think one of the biggest risks to civilization is the low birth rate and the rapidly declining birth rate. It is, and yet so many people, including smart people, think that there are too many people in the world and think that the population is growing out of control. It's completely the opposite. Please look at the numbers. If people don't have more children, civilization is going to crumble. Mark my words. The foundation of the economy is labor. I mean, capital equipment is essentially distilled labor. So I was spoken to a friend of mine actually to say, you know, just like what should we optimize for? And what he said was gross profit per employee, fully considered. So you got to include the supply chain in that. The fundamental constraint is labor. There are not enough people. I can't emphasize this enough. There are not enough people, and it has the potential to be a generalized substitute for human labor over time. Cybertruck. Cybertruck is going to be an incredible product. I think it may be our best product ever. I think it probably will be. It has a lot of new technology, so it's a hard car to make. But it will be awesome. And I think I've said before that, you know, we're aiming for volume production in 2023. And I will provide a more detailed product update at the Tesla earnings call early next year. So I wish it could be sooner, but that's most likely when it happens. It'll be something really special, you know, like just one of those kind of rare products that happens once in a while. That's really special. So Neuralink, we have Neuralink's working well in monkeys, and we're also doing just a lot of testing and just confirming that it's very safe and reliable, and that the Neuralink device can be removed safely. People may have seen the demo that we published earlier this year, the video of a monkey playing the video game Pong telepathically using the Neuralink in its brain, and it's completely wireless, charges inductively. But basically, the monkey looks completely normal, and yet is playing a video game telepathically, which is, I think, quite profound. We will have, we hope to have this in our first humans, which will be people that have severe spinal cord injuries, like tetraplegics, quadriplegics, next year, pending FDA approval. And I should say our standards for implanting the device are substantially higher than what the FDA requires, just as our standards for safety with Tesla are much higher than what the U.S. government requires. Because I think there's something that's I think pretty cool, and I do want to say that I'm very, you know, emphasis on cautiously optimistic about this. I think we have a chance with Neuralink of being able to restore full body functionality to someone who has a spinal cord injury. Meaning, I think we have a chance, I emphasize a chance, of being able to allow someone who cannot walk or use their arms to be able to walk again. Not natural. And I don't want to raise hopes unreasonably, but I'm increasingly convinced that this can be done. Man, Starship is a hard project. This is the biggest rocket ever made. It will have a thrust and mass double that of a Saturn V, which is the largest rocket to reach orbit, and is intended to be fully and rapidly reusable. This is a profound, if we are successful with this, which I think we will be, but I don't know if we'll be there in 2022, I hope so. This is a profound revolution in access to orbit. There has never been a fully reusable orbital launch vehicle. This is the holy grail of space technology. It is the fundamental breakthrough that is necessary for humanity to become a spacefaring civilization. You know, this absorbs more of my mental energy than probably any other single thing. But it is so preposterously difficult that there are times where I wonder whether we can actually do this. We live on a planet where the gravity is actually very strong. We actually live on the densest planet in the solar system. Our atmosphere is very thick, and what this comes down to is that you know, a typical orbital rocket might be able to put about 2% of its liftoff mass into orbit. And then this is with smart people trying hard, maybe 2.5%. And no rocket, to the best of my knowledge, has ever gotten above 4% of its liftoff mass to orbit. So now, in order to make a rocket fully reusable, you've got to basically create a rocket that can do about 4%, if not more than 4%, of its liftoff mass to orbit, which hasn't happened before. So that means you have to have basically A pluses across the board, incredibly efficient engines, incredibly efficient structure. You do need scale because there are some efficiencies of scale. That's why part of why Starship is so gigantic. Because, for example, the brain of the rocket really weighs about the same if it's a small rocket or a big rocket. So with a big rocket, you get to have the avionics be basically round down to 0% or be inconsequential in the mass of the vehicle. And just there's so many things that need to be done to have both the booster and the upper stage or ship be reusable. Insanely difficult. It's not like many super smart people have tried to do this before and no one has succeeded. And most of the time they've just given up partway through. But if full and rapid reusability can be achieved, it reduces the cost of access to orbit by a factor of 100 or more. It's like an aircraft. Imagine if an aircraft or a car or any form of transport was not reusable. Imagine if you had to buy a new plane every time you flew. That would make air flight insanely expensive, or a car. If you had to get a new car every time you drove somewhere, that would be unbelievably expensive as opposed to simply refueling it. So we've got to get rockets to the point where we simply refuel the rocket and we don't throw it away. And with Falcon 9, we've managed to make the booster reusable and the fairing, the nose cone reusable, but not the upper stage. So we've made I think the most progress in reusability that has ever been done. But with Starship, we're hoping to make the whole thing reusable. This is profound. Like I said, it is the difference between humanity being a single planet species and a multi-planet species. It's really that big of a deal. With the Tesla autopilot or full self-driving, we're effectively, I think, creating the most advanced practical AI for navigating the real world. And you can also think of Tesla as like the world's biggest robot company, or semi-sentient robot company. So then, we have, the car is kind of a robot on 4 wheels, and so then, well, we could probably take that same technology and put it in a humanoid robot and have that robot be useful. So essentially, to have the humanoid part, we need to develop some custom actuators and sensors, and then essentially use the Tesla full self-driving or autopilot, or just generally speaking, real-world navigation AI in the humanoid robot. And I think this could be quite profound. I don't know exactly when we will get this right, but we will get it right.